In this video, I'm going to tell you about the bizarre things that people do at Disneyland Paris, and I do some of them myself. Spending a lot of money on a hotel room when it's just a place to sleep, and if you're not going to use the hotel facilities, could be quite a bit of a waste of money, even though the location could be really great. If you're definitely not going to use the swimming pool, the gym, play areas, any facilities that they have, consider saving a little bit of money on a place that you are literally just going to sleep and shower, and spend that money in the parks, or get extra time at Disney. Trying to sneak kids onto rides that are not tall enough to ride a particular ride. If you know that your child is going to want to ride a particular ride before they go, then do a little bit of research, find out the height requirement for the ride, and then measure your child to make sure there is no disappointment when they get there and they're not quite tall enough. But I have seen parents buy them with slightly thicker soles on their shoes, or stuffing extra socks into the bottom of the shoes to raise their child up. It's for you and your family's safety that your child does not ride that ride if they're not tall enough. Cast members are not being mean by not letting them ride. They do want them to ride only when they're tall enough for their own safety. But just remember that you can do rider swap. Just let a cast member know as you enter a ride with the rest of the members of your group who can ride the ride that another adult is waiting outside with the child who can't ride. You'll then wait in the queue with everybody else, and at the end of the ride, when you come back out, go back to that cast member, let them know, and then you'll be able to hop straight onto the ride without having to wait. So rider swap is a really great option. Eating in the first place that you see when you're hungry. There will always be one member of your group that will not like anything on the menu and then will just be completely miserable for the whole time. Or you may have dietary requirements, or even make a reservation. So majority of the time it is not possible to get off the Ratatouille ride and go into Bistro Chez Remy and expect to be seated. You do need to make a reservation, as these are really popular restaurants and they very rarely have a free table. Or you could be walking into somewhere and spending a lot of money because you are hungry on a quick service meal, which could be better spent on a cheaper quick service restaurant. Or if you're not that hungry and just buy a snack and you can hold out till lunchtime or dinner time, is even better option. Just don't go and find food when you are over hungry. Do your research. Using reusable straws. I did this on our last trip to Disneyland Paris and still got some weird looks of other people in the park when I whipped out a reusable straw for everyone in my family. We don't like using the paper ones. Yes, they are brilliant for the environment and I get why they're there, but they go really gummy and don't last too long while you're trying to drink your drink, and then you are either trying to rip the end off because one of your children's bit the end and you can't drink through it, or swapping straws to allow your children to drink. Take reusable straws. You can wash them out when you're back in your hotel room and they're just great. They won't collapse or go gummy like the paper ones do, but I still got some weird looks when I whip them out of my bag. I've seen it happen loads of times when people pack way too much into their park bags. First hurdle you'll come across is when you get to the security checkpoint. If there's too much in your bag, or if your bag sets the alarm off, they're going to empty your entire park bag, and if there's loads in there, that is going to take a while. So don't pack too much. Just take the essentials or miniature versions of what you need. Plus, as you're walking around all day, do you really want to carry a bag that you've overpacked? It's going to become really heavy as the day goes on. It's not practical. If you are trying to hold it on a ride, or if you need to put it under your seat, so it's in Star Tours, you need to get that bag into quite a small space under your chair. It can be a faff and it's just not practical. Just take the essentials. Walking in heels in Disneyland Paris. I am not guilty of this one. When you do 30,000 steps a day, I do not want to walk around in stilettos. Trainers are fine for me. But I have seen a lot of women do it, and it must be so painful. Even if you walk in heels all the time, maybe just consider trainers, as your feet won't hurt as much. If you're doing a photo shoot in the park, which I've seen a few and I would love to do one myself with Steve, take your heels in a bag and then switch them for the photo shoot. Don't feel like you need to wear those heels all day. Fashion is not a priority in the parks. Getting in a really long line for a queue or a show before you've relieved yourself. And this is for adults and children, and I see it happen all the time. Don't look at a ride that has a 90-minute queue, hop in, and then halfway through realise that you really needed the toilet. Even if you don't feel like you need to, just go, and it's really good practice to get your kids to go before you enter a line. Just pop to your nearest toilet. There are loads situated around the park and quite close to rides. Go and relieve yourself, then hop in the line, as no queue at Disneyland Paris has a toilet mid-queue. It happens to all of us, and if you do need to hop out of the line or if your child needs to, take them with you, leave the bulk of your group in the line, and as you exit that queue, just let a cast member know what you're doing, as when you return, let them know, and they may be able to help you get back into the queue without getting so many funny looks from people who think you were just cutting in. Don't leave all of your Disneyland Paris planning to one person. I know I am completely guilty of this, as I love to plan anything at all, but to plan a Disneyland Paris holiday makes me really happy. But don't leave it all to one person, as they can get planning burnout. It is really stressful trying to think of restaurants that you would like to eat in, 60 days out, rides that you would like to go on, rides that potentially your children can't ride on, Disney bounding as we did this year. I had a lot to plan. I loved it, but I did feel really burnt out by the time I got there. But also, other members in the group shouldn't follow one person blindly, as you may not like what that one person has planned for the entire trip for you. So share it out. One person could do all the restaurant reservations, one person could plan the rides that they're doing that particular day, or meet and greets that they would like to do. Share it and do it together. Get your kids involved. They may want to do something, so plan that into your day as well, but get everybody involved, as it's a really fun thing to do. Just make sure you plan your holiday and so that it makes sense to you. Have you seen people doing really bizarre things in Disneyland Paris that I haven't mentioned? Drop them in the comments below, because I'd love to hear them. And please consider subscribing. As always, I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you again soon.